Diabolica. March 25, 2020 by Anna von Reitz. One of the worst things about the entire experience of my long trek through history and Legalese-Land and the observation of the constant, purposeful, diabolical lying associated with most of it, is that I have had to learn how to think like the rats. My sympathies to Christopher Walken's crazy Exterminator character in the movie, Mousetrap. Their mode of thinking and operating can only be described as diabolical. It's all based on models of things that Satan did in the Bible. His half-truth to Eve in the Garden of Eden, "You won't die, at least not right away, if you eat that apple." His non-answer to Jacob, "Who do you say I am?" Hint, that angel that Jacob fought at Beth-El wasn't our father, leads to hiding identities and creating false names and false assumptions about identities, just like they do with the whole birth certificate process. His temptation of Yeshua, "Hey, I'll give you all this, the world's riches, etc., if you bow down and worship me." It's weird, but it's true, that if you study the Bible from their twisted perspective, you will learn how they think. You will learn what they do. You will be able to recognize them from the way they twist and turn like worms on a hook when you address them in a forthright manner. If you go through and mark down absolutely everything that Satan did and said, you will have a copy of the enemy's playbook. Study what Satan says and how he works things, and you will be able to recognize and outsmart his children when they come to do you wrong. But, of course, the downside to this, is that you will, 1. Quickly realize how much of the world around you is predicated on Satan's wiles instead of the true God's truth, 2. How many good people unwittingly fall into his snares, 3. How his children constantly and deliberately lie and set others up to make false assumptions, 4. How Satan mirrors everything, creating illusions and images that keep us from enjoying and possessing what is actual, 5. How Satan encourages and promotes idolatry in the name of the God, 6. How Satan and his children always aim to get 2, 3, or more birds with one stone, 7. How they deliberately lead astray and misrepresent things, so that others are confused and the trusting are destroyed, 8. How they mock others and are so proud of their evil, believing that it will never catch up with them. As you are learning all this and observing how clueless people are, you will find it revolting, but strangely fascinating, too. How, you will wonder, is it possible that they get away with all this crapola, unobserved? We are encouraged to study the words and acts of Jesus and his disciples, so that we gain instruction in what is right, but we miss out on the study of what is wrong, with the result that we go like lambs to the slaughter, and are easy prey for these monsters in suits, playing their word games and deceits, including the corrupt men of the cloth. Did you hear that some Israeli company is going to send us 6 million pills of hydroxychloroquine for free? One for every Jewish person murdered by Hitler? But the gift takes on a different character when you realize that hydroxychloroquine is another name for coenzyme Q10, and there's the Q again. Kinetic, Inc., coenzyme Q10, and we all know about Q and the Q-shaped driveway around JFK's tomb, and QFS and quantitative easing, and QEII. Well, you all catch my drift and see my point, Q, 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 Q. None of this is by accident, people, and none of it is the product of right thinking. It's all diabolical in nature, and it's all connected, and it all runs to and through Israel and the synagogue of Satan and the Federal Reserve, which isn't federal and isn't a reserve. I have told you that this most modern rendition of this galloping criminality began in the 1850s and 60s with the ascension of Benjamin Disraeli as the British Lord of the Exchequer and later, Prime Minister. I have shown you all how terms of art and special definitions of words were used to create false assumptions and false identities. Enfranchisement was presented as empowerment instead of enslavement. Person was changed to mean corporation. Strawmen, black magic word puppets, were created to represent the estates of living men and women, then used to impersonate those same men and women and subject them to crimes of personage and baratry. Oh, yes, it's all very clear where the connections run and the mode of thinking and action employed. It's all 100% satanic, and yes, it all runs to and through the synagogue of Satan and the 10 lost to God tribes. Not to be confused with the religion of Judaism, or its adherents. No, we are talking here about their erring brethren, the members of the synagogue, the school, of Satan. Satan is their master, literally their teacher. So, we looked at the beginning of the modern malaise under Queen Victoria and found its roots in satanic practices and modes of thinking, and we found the fake Jew connection. But if you go back further to Queen Elizabeth I, the original Q, and her mentor, Dr. John Dee, and to the Book of Enoch, and to the summoning of fallen angels and demons, you will arrive at the Great Fire of London, aka, the Holocaust of the English people. You will find the Sestuikevi Act of 1666, where the government gained an excuse to seize upon private property and manage it for the absent owners. And to the habeas corpus acts of that time period, too. And then, also, you will go back to the 1217 Covenant of the Commonwealth, where the Church gained the eternal right to possess the land and inheritance of paupers vouchsafed to its care by the King of England. Always the same deceit based on wordplay, theft based on illusions and false claims, destruction of books and written records, all studded with sacrifices raised as holocausts, Jerusalem, Baalbek, Alexandria, Carthage, Rome, London, Dresden, Hitler's crematoriums, the Twin Towers, Paradise, California, Australia 2019. None of any of this is by accident. Satan is the one who destroys by fire. Satan is the one who loves the smell of burning flesh. The true God is the one who says, I did not command that you pass your sons and daughters through fire. I never thought of such a thing. We must recognize them for what they are, in their dark, hooded robes, circling around and around the giant effigy of a dead baby, attempting to seal their black magic. We must raise our voices and blow the trumpets loud, disperse their smoke and crack their mirrors, dispel their word deceits, and cast aside their would-be chains, expose their plots, and undermine their ways. Wherever there is a bridge, let them fall into the torrent beneath it. Wherever there is a stairway, let them fall. Whatever they attempt, let it fail. Let God's true angels dog their footsteps and take their breath. Let no peace be in them, no promise, no life, either, let no true thing at all abide with them, and may they be cast out into the darkness they crave, and may the doorway to the abyss shut behind them with a clang. I am surprised they didn't rename the common cold virus COVID-19, but perhaps even they hesitated to push it that far. If you enjoy having Anna's latest articles made into videos, please consider making a purchase from Ed's website sacredintuitiveelements.com. Thank you.